with Craig Dietrich from Craig Michael Photography in downtown Davidson.
That's correct.
Thanks for coming on the show, Craig.
Thank you very much
so
for having me.
how did you get into photography?
I got into photography back in high school. I'm the youngest of four, so to get a little bit of attention, I picked up the camera.
That was your...
And then, yeah, that just kind of got me noticed. I started taking pictures of my sisters and brothers, and I found that I was pretty good at it. And then in high school, I pursued it and interned with a local photographer in town, and then joined the Navy as a photographer, and then just been in it ever since.
What kind of photos did you take when you were in the Navy?
When I was in the Navy, I actually fell into a war, which was the Gulf War, and so I became a public affairs photographer. So General Schwarzkopf came on board. I had to photograph him. I had Dan Rather that I had to follow around the ship and take public affairs shots of him. And so it was pretty interesting. And then I got to go to flight school and do all aerial photography too. So it was a pretty unique time, and I kind of was at, I guess if you want to say, the right place. At the
You must have an interesting portfolio.
Yeah.
I do, and actually it's, I kept that going in the sense of, even on my website today, I have some really interesting photos from all the places
you
that,
do? So people can actually go on
and
your
actually
website
still
and
see some kind of unique photos that not only do I work with families and children, but I have another side of
You do action.
Yes,
so
exactly.
You specialize in portrait photography, and why is that? What inspired you to focus on that aspect of photography?
That's really neat, and the idea was really what I love about photography in general is that we have images thrown at us just constantly. You got billboards, you got commercials, you got TV, so these images just keep going into our heads. And so what photography does is kind of breaks down all those walls and brings you back to that specific time. And normally when you're taking pictures, it's a beautiful time. It's happy time.
Yeah.
You have a new baby in your life. You have a family affair. You have everybody together for the holidays. So what's great is it brings back that memory, that a warm, nice, fuzzy feeling. And that's something to me that I never lose sight of every time I'm taking a picture of that. When are we going to look at this again? You know, is it going to be a year later? Is it going to be 10 years later? Is it going to be even longer from that?
So it's the whole concept of documenting the family history.
Exactly.
And that means the most to you.
Definitely. I just think it's like I said. It's I look at even a 1-week-old baby, and I know this baby's going to see my work, and you know, and then I really try to get the parents involved, because mom's always taking the pictures. So I know that when this child, you know, because moms, like I said, they kind of glow.
Yeah.
They look at that little baby, and you just see this light. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to know that when that child grows up, it's going to see mom taking care of them at the most important time in their lives and stuff like that. So that's what I love about it so much.
And it's important. You get into the daily routine, and sometimes you forget to capture those moments. Like you said, getting the family all together, and it is important to be able to go back and look at, and brings back the memories. I'm sure with you as well, what you did in the Gulf War. Now you can go back and remember and relive all those.
Yes.
It's all documented.
Yeah, and then things get passed down for generations. Even with my grandmother passing away recently, the first thing everybody did was go back through all the photo albums and try and recapture those photos so they can be shared with everybody.
And you have a studio now as well, so you have your...
I do.
So can people go to your studio and look at pictures, or how are you set
I've been servicing the area now for about 3 years. I do all my stuff in home, which I found to be just fantastic. You walk into a home and the kids are like, okay, who's that? Yeah. And then they're like, okay, I can go back to playing with my own toys and just kind of relax. And then I kind of it works real well. Mom's there, she's got her diaper bag, she has everything there. So I do a lot of on location work. But I wanted to open something that people could come in, sort of like a gallery, which kind of fits perfectly in the art district where I am in Davidson, that there's galleries around there. So I wanted people to be able to come in, see my work, and then have the opportunity to either do it there or still do it on location in their home.
So people can come in and view work that you've done. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So.
And you have this Cutest Kids contest that's starting up that we've been hearing about. You want to just talk a little bit about that, how that works?
Yeah, I would like that if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things I notice about my customers is that they're from a different place, meaning as in they've just commuted here, or they've come here, settled in, and so they have family all over. So what I thought would be kind of neat was we're going to do a Cutest Kids contest, and it's kind of neat because of the fact that after the photos get taken, they're going to go to theherald.com on there. So it'll give somebody a reason to call grandma in California. It'll give, you know, them exposure to give that call that they haven't called in a little bit and say, our little baby, you know, come vote for our little baby, that, you know, go to the website and vote for them. And then it's going to give the kids that win exposure in the newspaper, which I still thought would be really, really neat. I mean, what parent wouldn't love to have their you know, their children's picture in the paper? And so I just thought it would be a great opportunity to do this, and then kind of build a little community spirit there and have a little competition, which is always very good. And I just thought it would be kind of neat. And like I said, I'm hoping the fact that people, like I said, that if they haven't called Aunt Ethel in a little bit, they're going to have a reason now. So they get to go through their phone book and call everybody to say, you better look, you know, and vote for our child.
Well, and people love babies. People love looking at baby pictures. Now, what are the ages? Is there a limit?
Yes, it's going to be 3 months to 3 years.
Okay.
So just that nice little span there.
And what kind of portraits do you think people are looking for babies? Is it just a smiling baby face, or is it a baby sleeping, or is...
Again, I think that's a great question, by the way, because I try so hard to get parents to understand that, you know, we are so programmed to say, smile, you know, that's it, you know, and and then what I try to get across at those age, and that's why I love the age from 3 months to 3 years, is because they're so uninhibited, you know, and they just are themselves. So you're going to get that little, like, you know, what I love is when that flash goes off and they're like, the new baby, whoa, it's like, what is going on, you know? So you get these beautiful expressions that are all over the board. They could be sad, they could be happy, nothing against smiles, but look for all the different expressions that they're giving you, because they really are giving you so many. It's really kind of neat when you sit down after sitting and I explain to them, wait to see all the different expressions. And when they do understand it, that smiling one is great, but it kind of goes to the side with all the little other different looks
that you don't always capture.
We're just so programmed, you know, which is to just say smile, and that's all we look for. And so I'm so glad you asked that, because again, it's something that I want you to look back at the photo and say that's the expression that you only get at, you know, 5 months or a year and a half.
Or when they're so young like that. I think one of the cutest pictures I've ever seen is when a baby is sleeping and you can pose them a little bit if they really sleep well, and so you can kind of like shake.
We always go back and say, I wish we could sleep like that.
Face, they're so angelic when they're sleeping.
At peace.
At peace, exactly.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. It sounds like a great contest.
Thank you very much for having me.
Can't wait to see all the pictures.
And of course, people can find out information about the contest on LKNSavings.com.
That's correct.
There's a big banner on our front page they can click on to get all the details. And
they'll be
plus,
seeing
we also
it in
have
the Herald also.
a great back-to-school special still running too. You can get a mention LKNSavings.com, and you can get a free sitting and an 8x10.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's good through October.
That's
so
correct.
definitely take advantage of that. That's a great deal.